All right, what's going on, people? We are back. JV wins Dogon SS. We are here on the Conscious Approach channel on YouTube. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, watching our videos. We appreciate the support. Thanks to everybody who's been hitting that subscribe button, joining the tribe, getting in on the fun, getting in on the action as we kick the tires and light the fires on these cultural and social topics each and every week. Video uploads each and every day. So we appreciate the support as we continue to rock and roll, man. We love y'all out there. We appreciate the engagement. So keep everything going. We got a lot of interesting things to talk about tonight. A lot of things that kind of broke very recently out here in the world. There's some pretty interesting bits of news taking place in and around the internet. So first up, we are going to talk about Killer Cameron. Cameron is not here for Dwayne Wade's alternative way of doing things. Let's put it that way. I think ever since Dwayne Wade became more of a pop culture type personality, he's put more of his personal life out there on Front Street for public consumption. Various methods with which he chooses to kind of raise his kids and the Hollywood celebrity relationship with Gabrielle Union and how that factors into it. Point is, Dwayne Wade tends to be a topic of conversation when it comes to like societal stuff more often than not, especially in lieu of his retirement, especially given the fact that he has a child, a son who is transgender. So an update to this ongoing saga involving the way that Dwayne Wade is frequently in the public discourse involves him wanting to start a nail care line. So one second there, I actually shared the wrong tab. So let me get out of that and share the right one. So here we go. Let's see here.
Nail care.
Cameron, there we go. So Cameron obviously hosts a popular podcast called It Is What It Is with Mace. They mostly touch on sports, but whenever sports intersects with like life and culture, then they'll hit on other topics as well, which is an example of this. But Dwayne Wade, for anybody who doesn't know, was recently on a CBS morning show. He was doing an interview. And obviously, it was a normal interview. They were asking him various questions, and they started to talk about Dwayne Wade's nails. Dwayne Wade has, for a long time, done the Caleb Williams thing, where he frequently paints his fingernails. He likes to paint his fingernails. He has broken through that barrier. He doesn't see anything weird or suspect about a man painting his fingernails. And he very publicly boasts about his painted fingernails whenever he is out in public. So this is nothing new with Dwayne Wade. But during the CBS morning interview, he talked about how he's actually considering starting a nail care business, some sort of nail care line or nail care business. And when prompted as to the inspiration behind his decision to consider that, Wade went into talking about how, fingernails and manis and pedis is one of the ways that he, spends time with his daughter. It's a part of how he expresses himself, and he's an expressive person, and this is a part of his form of expression, and so he's really been thinking about it. And Cameron does not like that. And when they brought it up on the Cameron and Mace It Is What It Is show, Cameron demonstratively kind of walked off the set. Clearly, he didn't want to talk about this. So that is where we come in to give our thoughts on this particular thing. So this says Cameron walks off It Is What It Is set upon hearing of Dwayne Wade's nail care brand plans. Cameron is infamously not a fan of Dwayne Wade's painted nails. So his reaction when he heard that he might be planning to launch his own nail care brand was anything but surprising. Moreover, he straight up walked off the set of his co-hosted sports talk show, It Is What It Is, when they broached the subject, cutting the episode off early. It was quite the extreme reaction, and one that fans were quick to either clown or agree with on social media. Either way, regardless of where you stand on the painted nails debacle, are we really going to make such a big deal out of someone capitalizing on the financial and social interest in that? Jokes aside, Cameron has more pressing athletic threats to address when it comes to the subjects of his occasional ire. For example, Shakur Stevenson warned that he might just drop a diss track against him after the Dipset member threatened to slap Stevenson if they ever met. So we'll go. This whole beef seemed to stem from comments about the boxer being a poor fighter on It Is What It Is. So Mace also got his fair share of bashing. At least we know that Dwayne Wade is not that combative with the trolls. So here is that moment on It Is What It Is when Cameron walked off the set after the D Wade nail care story was brought up as a topic.
Dwayne Wade. So he reveals he's considering creating a nail care line. He
Oh
said
my goodness.
one of his favorite pastimes is getting manicures with his daughter. What happened to get paid, young nigga, get paid. Get paid, young nigga, get paid. Maurice, thanks for being here. That's all the time that we have for today. Thanks for watching.
So as you can see, the episode was abruptly cut short because Cameron was an unwilling participant in that particular segment. And for anyone who did not see the original snippet from that CBS Morning interview with Dwayne Wade talking about this, here is that.
Oh boy.
Nails.
Don't get a close up of my nails.
No.
Listen, I've been on the road. I'm gonna do like this.
But we see a pop of color.
Yeah.
What was the impetus for it?
Expression.
Expression.
Yeah, expression.
Expression of what?
I'm expressive. And there's so many ways to do that.
Your nails look better than mine.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
They do.
Don't do that.
So when are we getting the
They are.
manicure?
You know, I'm working on. I'm thinking about I'm actually thinking about jumping into the nail line. Like,
Oh,
world.
really?
I've been thinking about it. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Like, I've been in it so long, and I'm like, you know what? It could be a good time, but I got some cool ideas that I'm exploring.
So this is breaking news.
Actually, I need to tell you guys. I've been having some conversations on my own about exploring. I got a couple of ideas, and one of my ideas is one of my favorite things to do when it comes to this is actually sitting down with my daughter and getting my nails painted and painting hers. That's the time. That's the time that we get to connect.
Right.
Me doing something that she loves and also that I love. I give her medis and petties as well.
So
Man, this guy.
So this goes on to say, but for every sports superstar that Cameron finds beef with, his appreciation for one. Okay, so that's irrelevant. Meanwhile, Cameron is sadly not the only person hating on Dwayne Wade's nail care line plans. It's an unfortunately regressive mentality to have against someone who has shown nothing but support to his family. Wade didn't have to put others down while doing so, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Let's see if Cam ever actually talks about it. So that sets the stage for us to give our thoughts on this matter. What do you think about Cameron's reaction to Dwayne Wade's admission to thinking about starting a nail care line? And if you want to go so far as to give your thoughts on Dwayne Wade's comments in general, the floor is yours.
I mean, I completely agree with Cam. Unfortunately for us, our show just started, so I can't get up and walk away my damn self. So I can't do that, but I second that motion. Listen, man, I don't know what's going. Well, I know what's going on with Wade at this point. I think it's well documented, but it was just something about this zesty interview that really just rubbed me the wrong way, man. I don't know what's going on. I think he's finally, you know what I'm saying, putting both feet in those waters. And I got a Wade Marquette jersey in here, man. You know what I'm saying? I wear it on laundry days, you know, and I'll be outside with my Wade jersey, but I don't think I can have that. I don't think I can have that on my back anymore. So I'm sorry, Wade. I'm gonna have to get at the Goodwill or something. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, as being a Heat fan and being a big fan of Wade, the basketball player, you know, post-retirement, it's been really difficult watching all of this stuff unfold. This guy clearly is in line with the right kind of people. Uh, he's plugged in with the right kinds of uh, industries, and he's got the green light, much like he, if he was on the court, he's got the green light to shoot, and basically he's got the green light to pretty much do anything he wants because he's playing by so many rules. If there was like a Hollywood or Hollyweird checklist of all the things that you have to be about, stand for, and be a part of, Wade is checking all the boxes. So honestly, this is not a surprise, but it's still uncomfortable how much he's leaning into all of this. So I mean, I agree with Cam. I think it's great showmanship on them, on their behalf. I mean, that was well played out. I don't think they really ended the show early. I think this is part of their little high leave on a high note kind of thing. And it causes controversy or viralities. So it's a good play. It's a good play on Cameron and crew, which they're pretty good at. But what are your thoughts on Sir Cameron walking off set, D Wade painting nails, launching lines? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think that they put that on there knowing what Cam's reaction was going to be. So I think they very well could have known he would have done that. So that could have been the intended ending for that episode. So that is a good point there. At this point, I'm not even going to lay into Dwayne Wade because this is like Dwayne Wade now. So for me to kind of retread that tire, it's like, for what? It is what it is. The only thing that I'll say about Cam is, for him to take that stance, I don't have an issue with Cam disagreeing with Dwayne Wade's chosen lifestyle by all appearances. But at the same time, one can suggest that when you get up and you put your man purse over your shoulder, it's not painted nails, but is it a far cry from it when you get up and you grab your man purse and walk off the set? So it's like different strokes for different folks. I was never a big fan of the satchel purse becoming a thing again, but these guys are walking around here, casually with these man purses. I kind of feel like if Dwayne Wade is going to be painting his fingernails, then I can also, if I chose to, go at Cam for leaning into the man purse, the whole satchel thing, because to me, they're both on that same spectrum. You can argue that one is more extreme than the other, but in my opinion, they're both on the same side of the pendulum. So I would say to anyone who wants to come at Cam for that, I also wouldn't disagree with that either. But the whole Dwayne Wade thing is like, at this point, he's leaning into this. And I've said this before on this channel, because I don't disagree with you. I do think that Wade is plugged into certain social circles, which dictate that this kind of mentality is beneficial. And so when you're on that side of the tracks, it serves you best to lean into it. But at the same time, Wade is a smart enough guy, and he's been in the public eye long enough to know how to at least publicly position himself to seem like he's on the right side of history. And I think the key with all of this is what is and isn't deemed to be on the right side of history perceivably. And I think what's unfortunate with this particular story, and we're singling out Wade here because he's the main subject, but it's other people we can bring in as examples. It's not just Dwayne Wade, but since this is what happened and it went viral, we're talking about Wade. But the sad part about this is to do this is to be perceivably on the right side of history. And all of these people in the celebrity public eye know that they need to be on the right side of history, because if you even try to remain neutral, you'll be perceived as like a hater. And I think the saddest part about this entire scenario is even if you respectfully disagree with the fact that Wade likes to paint his nails, you're a hater or a bigot. And it's like there's this extreme reaction to anyone who dissents against one's decision to embrace these kinds of things, when really it's just a matter of personal preference, in my opinion. And it's like I've said before, man, when it comes to this family value stuff, like my preference is to My preference is for my son to not want to paint his nails and to embrace his masculinity and to identify with the sex in which he was born. That doesn't mean that I hate Dwayne Wade. It just means my preference is to do it the other way. It doesn't mean that I have a problem or that I'm somehow, as that article put it, regressive. Like, why does that have to mean I'm regressive? Like that's the part that annoys me about this kind of stuff, is for me to dissent against this means that I'm like a hater or I'm regressive or I'm somehow looking in the rearview mirror when I need to embrace the future. I don't have to if I don't want to. I can raise my kids and my family and my household however the hell I choose.
Damn
But
right.
for anybody to dissent against that, it means that there's something wrong with you or that there's a problem. Hey, look, I don't agree with what Wade does. You know, Wade is on that alternative stuff, Will Smith style. It's weird to me. I'm not on that. I prefer more of the straight and narrow because I don't think that there was ever anything wrong with it in the first place. Like, just because someone identifies traditionally in terms of gender or societal norms or sex or whatever, it doesn't mean that they're regressive. It just means that they're a reasonable person who doesn't think that there's anything wrong with the traditional lanes and with which we've all identified these things. But that's kind of not how things tend to play out on the internet. And if I were to say I think Wade painting his nails is suspect and I don't like it, but I wouldn't do it myself. But hey, Wade, do whatever you want to do. I think it's weird and cringe and it's not for me, but do whatever. That means that I'm regressive now. So it's aggravating, but I think Wade knows that he needs to make sure that he remains on the right side of history. And what's weird and odd about these types of conversations is the mere reality that wanting to be a man who paints his nails is to be on the right side of history. I think that that's weird, but that's just my opinion. I guess that's why I'm not a member of the liberal media. And if I were in the media, I'd have to keep doing this because I wouldn't bend the knee to this idea that I have to embrace those things in order to be on the right side of history. But that's just me.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree 1000%. And, you know, I don't think, and here's my thing with the painted nail stuff, is that in the grand scheme of things, what is really painting your nails? It's really nothing. So I get that part. I get the part that it means nothing. It means whatever you want it to mean. So I get that. But that's not what they're doing with this. What comes with these nails is also sassy behavior. What comes with those nails is a behavioral set. And that behavioral set leans more into that of a feminine nature. And they're trying to get men to do this stuff. And so my thing is what that is, and also which goes with these things, are these type of ideologies and other things that lean towards what they're calling progressive. But this air quote progress has been going on for the last, I don't know, 60 years. And where has it gotten us? Is this really progressive? Or is it actually regressive?
Right, exactly.
So this mindset, this ideology that this type of stuff is pushing, because this is more of a signal, a signifier that I stand for certain type of ideologies that's against the grain. And so will there be a person who paint their nails like this that's actually a revolutionary person? I highly doubt it. Whoever does this is going to be the conformists who go along with whatever progressive agendas that's going on. And so when these young people are coming up, yeah, you know, they'll have the painted nails and the satchels. You know, and Cameron could try to play it off as, hey, my laptop was in that bag. Yeah, right, man, but it was still pink. The way you was carrying it, I mean,
exactly.
You look like an auntie at church.
Correct. Yes. Put it in an actual laptop case.
Put it in a laptop bag, bro. You know, when it's time for me to buy a laptop bag, I'll be looking at them like, what I look like wearing this? You know what I'm saying? It's unisex, but it's a little too, you know what I'm saying, liberal. I need something with some camo on it. You know what I'm saying? Some extra pouches. You know what I'm saying? So I can put my knives in there if I have to. This guy's got, you know what I'm saying, the stuff for powdering his face. So yeah, Cameron's one to talk, man, with the pink agenda going on when we were in high school.
Yeah.
I hated that. And we laugh at pause now. But pause is sus too. Because in order to pull out a pause joke, you got to be over there. What are you doing in those rooms anyway to even be thinking like that? So that game is literally having your mind in the gutter, but the wrong gutter. That's man on man gutter. You know, what happened to back in the days with the man, I forgot the guy's name, man, the old guy with the buggy eyes, the comedian. You know, real adult type humor or whatever. I can't remember.
Oh, the one who did Bebe's Kids.
Oh,
you talking about
him too? But I was talking about the white dude. You know, the guy was like tough crowd or whatever. I forgot the guy's name.
I'd have to look it up. Yeah, I
gotta look it up too. I forgot his name, the man's name. But yeah, just old, like, what happened to like man on woman raunchy humor?
You know? Oh, you talking about Rodney Dangerfield?
There you go, Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah,
man on woman raunchy humor. You know what I'm saying? But it's man on man raunchy. So it's like that's what it is. So people could run down the list on Cam too. Now I ain't hating on Cam, but I'm just saying, you can't be throwing stones like that.
Yes, right. Yeah.
You know, because again, bro, that pink agenda while we were in high school, I hated it. And dudes was going with it. And at that time, 2002, 2003, dudes wearing pink. Nah, man, that wasn't the play. You know, back then, just having these guys were having two earrings in the ear, you know, one in each ear. Remember, bro, we only had to have one in the left ear.
In the left ear, yeah. I would actually, and the thing with Cam, and this is what makes this kind of like I'm looking at both of them. Because the thing with Cam, one can argue in 2004, the aggressive embracing of all things pink is to 2004 what painted fingernails is in 2024.
It is.
Yeah, right. So that's why I'm just like, bro, what do you like? Do you not remember what you were doing 20 years ago? Like, it's not a far cry. Like, maybe today, because I'll throw on a salmon shirt or something like that now, but I'm a coordinated. It's not going to look like I'm trying to embrace my feminine side. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. But I would say in 2002, 2003, pink minks and the pink, you know, what was that car that he had that was pink? The pink Lamborghini or whatever it was. Like, all of that, I would say in 2002 was tantamount to what painted fingernails are in 2024.
Very controversial. It was very controversial. Yeah, man. So hey, man, you know, I ain't nothing wrong with the color pink. You know what I'm saying? I might be pulling up in a faded salmon linen suit on a cruise. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me, bro. Or you mad? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I could do something like that, but I'm just saying, back in those times, yeah, man, it was uncomfortable. And so now the way how wide open things is, you know, men wearing satchels, you know, why not take it there? So hell, they're already, you know, getting into BBL activity too, man. So it's gonna be the whole crossover, bro. It's gonna be the whole crossover one day, and that's fine. But for everybody that like to keep it you know what I'm saying, original, shouts out to y'all, man. Shouts out to the ladies that want original men. We see y'all out here, man, and there's still normal dudes left in the game, but right now, bro, the water's a little murky, man. But yeah, I can't get down with the nail stuff, but Wade gonna do what he do. Hey, get your bag while you're out there, bro. I mean, hell, I guess, man, but I'm not for it.
Yeah, neither am I. I'll continue to criticize it because I just don't agree with it. And if that means that I'm regressive, then so be it. I guess I'm
Yeah.
regressive.
You're
Like
digging.
the thing that I struggle most with this is what is the line of demarcation between personal preference and actual true regressiveness. And I feel like those things are absolutely 100% conflated these days. At least when it comes to the internet, where there is no line. It's just, oh, you're not for this, that means you're an enemy. It's like you characterized once when you said, oh, let's look for the next target and eradicate them, because that's just how these extremist social movements work these days. And it's just weird, but I just don't agree with it. But that, to each their own. I'm not here to chastise Dwayne Wade. Like, he's a millionaire. Who the hell am I anyway? But I don't agree with it, and I don't have to like it or want my own household or kids to do the same thing. And I don't think that that's a problem. Everybody can still coexist without that meaning that by default I'm regressive. But when it comes to this whole bending thing and like what is regressiveness and all of that kind of stuff, like I forget who it was that we were talking about, and it's the last thing that I'll say. But we were talking about comedy once, and it was someone who was talking about the men wearing the dresses. I forget what the topic was.
Oh, Marlon.
And what I was trying to figure out was, why is it funny for men to be gender benders in comedy? Like, that's funny for men to put on dresses and men be women and do all of these things. But if it was truly about gender bending being funny in and of itself, then there would be more acts of comedy where women are trying to be men and women are trying to do manly stuff, dress like men, pretend to be men. The plot device of the movie is this woman is doing manly things and being a man. Like, yeah, you can find a few examples here and there of that being the norm, but the amount in the opposite of men gender bending for comedy far exceeds what we see in reverse. So I kind of feel like it's the same thing with this. And this is why I sometimes holler agenda with this stuff too. Because if it's all the same, then where are the women doing this? Because I feel like I want to be this way because this is what's good for me and this is how I express myself and that's what works for my family. And I spend time with my son. You don't see too many of these women celebrities talking about how they love getting in the mud and playing football because that's how they like spending time with their son. So that's my whole thing, is why does this seem to be like a more frequent observation that we're making on the part of men? And this is when you get people like Candace Owens and Andrew Tate. Not that I'm fans of either one of them, but that's when you get people like that coming out of the woodwork to talk about how this is agenda driven, to purposefully try to emasculate men. And you can have your thoughts on that if you want. I'm not here to litigate that particular angle, but that's where people like that come from. Like, people like that come out of the woodwork to express their views on this stuff because of the lack of balance when it comes to the presentation of it. And I think Dwayne Wade represents that lack of balance. He's been doing it for a while, so it is what it is. But why is that? It's like I said, for anybody who thinks that we're blowing smoke or that we're making too much of this, I'm just asking the question, like, why is it that a man painting his nails means that it's progressive? Where are the other examples for that? Why does that mean that you're on the right side of history instead of it just being a thing that people do, but it is neither right or wrong, it just is? But the way that these things are presented to us is men who do that are on the right side of history. And I disagree with that, but moreover, I just want to ask the question, why?
Yeah, and the thing I'll say to that, just tongue in cheek, but it's because the thing he's doing is being progressive, and that's what makes it right.
Yeah,
and that's the power of words and definitions that they go throwing around out here. It's who defines what progression is, and then why not want to be that? And then, so if you're growing up and you think that, because they was teaching us about what progression meant when I was a young person in school too, when we were taking civics and all this other stuff, there was the progressive, and then they always made the progressive ones sound progressive. Hey, minority people, they like you guys. And I was like, oh, progressives? I'm down with those people. But then they hook you in. And then you think that you have to go along at everything that the progressives do because, well, they're the intellects. They're the progressives. So this is seen as trendy, cutting edge, and highly intelligent to do these things. You know, they're so in tune with nature that they can see that there's more than two genders. So, hey man, they can see it all.
Right,
So the
yeah.
power of definition, man. So y'all be careful out there. Just because there's a word out there floating around, and they who defined that word. So yeah, man, be careful out there, guys. But I don't know what to say to Wade. I still get happy when I see highlights and stuff, but all this post retirement stuff, man, I can't vouch. Can't
Yeah.
vouch.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but I also completely balk at the idea that because I don't like it, it means that I'm regressive.
Hey,
But
caveman.
but if I am regressive, then I guess I'll just die in my regressive hole. I guess because you're not smoking me out of this one. You're not smoking me out of that one.
Hey,
But
y'all let us know down in the comment section, guys. You guys are progressive or nah? Or you guys being these regressives that walk off the set like Cameron and like Dogon's about to do in a few minutes.
yeah. Let's get those damn dirty progressives out of here. All these men who want to be men, and all of these women who want to be women. Get them out of here.